friends, I am at the park with the kids and the dog, one of the dogs right now, and just hanging out while they're playing. And so I thought that I would try to get my Wellness Wednesday in here, and we'll see how far I get. If we get interrupted, then I'll probably do the rest of the video at home. So in this video, I wanted to talk about a new device that I was sent. The company reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try this product and, give my review to you guys. And I said, yeah, that looks interesting. The device is called Lumen, and you might have seen it around social media. I definitely had seen it before on, just scrolling through Instagram and stuff. And I kind of had in my mind that it was a breath ketone monitor, because the whole idea that they say, on the ads and stuff is that it tells you if you're burning fat. And I was like, that sounds like a ketone monitor. And that's just kind of what I thought it was, and didn't really look into it any further. But they reached out and asked if I was interested in trying the product. And through that, I learned a little bit more about it. And actually, it's not a breath ketone monitor. Apparently, it measures the CO2 on your breath, and depending on the concentration of CO2, it can tell you if you're burning more fat or more carbs or somewhere in between. So I thought it looked really interesting, and I saw, people like Dr. Jason Fung recommending it, and it just looked like something that might be interesting. So I said, sure, go ahead and send me one. And so I have had it for just a few days. I do have some unboxing footage that I will put in here so that you can see like what all comes in the package. But I did want to chat really quick about how when I talk about a product or a service or, some kind of device like this, I don't want to give the impression that I think everyone needs to have every single one of these devices or services that I talk about. I get the impression that some people that comment, they get frustrated because things are expensive, or they can't afford all the different things. And I just want to make it clear that I do not believe that any of these products or services are required in order to get healthy. They are tools, and they can give you some helpful information that can give you some shortcuts in your health journey. But by no means do I think that everyone needs to have a NutriSense subscription and a Lumen and a breath ketone monitor and a blood ketone monitor and a blood sugar monitor. Like, I don't think that all of these things are required all the time. I am in a unique situation where I have companies reaching out to me saying, would you like to try this product? And so, it's fun, it's interesting, all these, hacks and different things that you can get into. It's kind of interesting. And I hope that it's interesting for you guys to see me experience using them. My hope is that it would give you enough information to know if it's something for you or not. And I just want to make sure that people don't think that I am trying to get everyone to buy all of these things. That is absolutely not the case, but I hope that I can give the information so that you get a better picture of if it's something that you feel like is worth the investment or not. So as far as Lumen, I've only had it for a few days now. I'm still kind of learning the whole program. It is a whole program. That's one thing I am learning, is that it's a whole program. It's not just a device that gives you information. There's a whole program behind it, like a whole meal planning and system, which I will be getting into. And of course, I don't have a lot of experience with it all yet, so I'm not here saying everyone needs to go out and purchase one of these devices, but I am going to be playing with it. I am going to be sharing about my experience with it. And so hopefully at least you'll find it interesting, and hopefully you will get the information from my experience to decide if it's something that is worth it for you to look into further or not. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and put in that unboxing clip, and then I will be back to chat a little bit about my experience with it for the last, 3 days now. So here is how the Lumen arrived, and let's just open it up together. Oh, hello, I'm Lumen. How adorable. Very, very sleek, that is for sure. Ooh, I like that that's magnetic. Very cool. Getting started. Instructions for use. Welcome booklet. Getting started. Download the app. We have a charging cable, of course. Ooh, a little carrying case. That's cute. It says carry me. It says Lumen on there. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. I love that. Easy to throw into your purse. And then here looks like the charging port. So the USB-C, I guess, plugs into here. And then you have to find something with a USB port to plug it into charge. And then just sits on there like that. All right, I am going to go ahead and get this all the way charged before I start playing with it anymore. So I'm still trying to decide if a Lumen device is going to be helpful for those on keto, because the whole idea of Lumen and the program is to get you to be metabolically flexible, where you can switch between burning fat and burning carbs quickly. And so it's not necessarily like the idea of keto is that you eat keto and you burn fat all the time. And with Lumen, they're not like totally on board with keto. There's an article that I read on their blog about keto, and it wasn't necessarily positive. It was more like keto is difficult and not super sustainable. So with Lumen, you can use Lumen to figure out how to eat carbs and still be able to burn fat. So I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe if you're on keto and you blow into the Lumen, maybe it's just going to say you're burning fat all the time and not really give you any helpful information. Although I will say that I have tested, I think 5 separate times now. They say the most important is just to test first thing in the morning when you wake up. And that's when you want to be in fat burn mode. You want to be able to, your body to get into a state of fat burn overnight, which I totally agree with. And so far, so they have 5 levels, and level 1 is the highest fat burn, level 5 is the highest carb burn, and in between is in between. And so far the lowest number I've gotten is a 2, and I got that only one time. I think it was yesterday morning, I got a 2, which means I was burning mostly fat, which is great. But besides that, I got a 3 several other times that I tested, and I got a 4 one time, which is you're burning a little bit of fat but mostly carbs. So I don't know, I think it might be interesting, and I'm curious to see what kinds of things I can do to push it to the more fat burning more of the time, especially that first morning measurement, because I would like to wake up in fat burn mode every morning after my nighttime fast. I think that would be a sign of metabolic health. So as far as the program, what they do is based on your measurements that you get from blowing into the Lumen device, they give you macros to follow. And I was a little worried about that because when you are going into something that's not keto, I'm like wondering if they're going to give me like 300 carbs a day or something like that. But I was really happy to see that they really focus on protein. Every time I've gotten a new macro calculation, my protein goal has been over 100, somewhere around like 120 grams, which is great. That's, right in the range of where I shoot for during the day. And they've had the fat grams even higher than that, like 130, 140 grams of fat. So it's more fat than a 1-to-1 protein to fat ratio. And then as far as the carbs, I've noticed it change when I wake up and I'm not more in fat burning mode. it lowers the carbs. So it's funny how it's like they're using carbs as a lever to get you into fat burn mode. And so I think my carb macro for today was 45 grams of net carbs. They don't count fibrous vegetables. I don't think they even count those as net, any of the net carbs in those. They just count net carbs in other things. So they call it like you're on a low carb day, and then occasionally they'll throw in higher carb days to like get your metabolism boosted somehow. So it's really, really focused on carb cycling and doing a lot of, it's like exercises for your metabolism to get it to be really efficient and be able to switch back and forth between the carbs and the fat, which I think is a really good goal. And I understand that a lot of people are so metabolically damaged that you can't just expect your body to get to that point. And so full-time keto all the time makes sense and for a lot of people. If you guys have watched my Wellness Wednesdays recently, you'll know that I'm kind of in an in-between place with my diet, trying to figure out what to do going forward, because I have found that I'm very insulin sensitive, it seems like. My insulin is very low. My blood sugar stays pretty balanced. I can add in a few more carbs and really not be anywhere near pre-diabetes or diabetes. And so I'm like, maybe I'm someone who can get to the point of that metabolic flexibility and be okay with having a few more carbs here and there. Definitely not planning on, getting back on lots of sugar or junk, but like I talked about a couple weeks ago, adding in beans seemed really, really blood sugar friendly for me, really, really satisfying for my appetite. It's not like it sent me off into any kind of cravings or anything like that. So I think the Lumen is going to be a really good fit for me for a little while to see just to see what happens. So what I'm doing right now, since I've just had it for a few days, is I'm just using it periodically, especially that first morning measurement, and getting an idea of what my levels are as far as carb and fat burn with the diet that I'm eating right now. And then after a little bit, I'm going to try, although it's really hard for me to stick to any kind of plan or macros, but I'm going to try to follow their suggestions. As long as it doesn't, go crazy and try to get me to eat 400 carbs in a day or something, that would be a little too much. But right now, like 45 net carbs in a day, I can do that. that's I eat that way sometimes anyway. And just see what happens. See if doing, going through the steps that they have of, exercising your metabolism, if it makes me move, to those lower numbers, maybe getting a number 1 every once in a while, that would be nice. So anyways, I am going to be experimenting with it, and I will bring you along for the ride. Again, not recommending this product yet because I don't think I have enough experience with it, but I will bring you along on the experience that I do end up having, and I hope that it'll at least be interesting. Let me know if you guys have tried this kind of device, a Lumen or something similar. I don't know if there's any really competitors on the market. There probably are, but if you have tried some kind of a monitor like this that measures the CO2 on your breath, that would be really interesting to know what experience you had with it and what you thought. So that is it for my Wellness Wednesday today. I hope you guys are doing well on this Wellness Wednesday, and I will see you again in the next video.